News Radio 610 WTVN, Joel Riley and Columbus's Morning News.
7:36, it's Thursday morning, Feb 23. Joel Riley, Free Movie Friday coming your way tomorrow. We'll really roll out the red carpet for you. If you want to get in on it now, you can do it, 610WTVN.com. Type in keyword contests. Whenever we have legal issues, we love to talk to Byron Henry, Byron legal expert. And Byron, we'll just get right to it because, the immigration policy, we've kind of had it rolled out, then we kind of drew back. Now we've rebooted it and put it out there again. Do you feel like this version is going to be tested legally like the last one was?
Oh, it may be tested legally, Joel, but it's not going to be as successful as the prior one. Basically, President Trump's administration, it looks like they're going to carve out, make exceptions, so to speak, for the groups that have the closest ties to the United States or constitutional or statutory rights, such as green card holders and those who have already been issued visas by the State Department. So once you carve out those individuals, what you're left with are people that don't have visas and don't have the right to reside in the United States with a green card, and they're just overseas hoping to have a visa approved or obtain asylum or refugee status, which is a much looser connection, if any, to the United States, and basically leaves you with little or no constitutional or statutory rights to come into the country. You're basically at the discretion of Congress and the executive.
So you feel like they learned their lesson, or is it just they reread the Constitution and figured it out?
No, it wasn't really the Constitution. The problem with the original order, at least up front, and most people saw it, is that it was vague with respect to does it actually apply in the same way to green card holders, which court cases say do have some constitutional protections, and visa holders, which do have some statutory protections. Oh, did it apply? Now, we know that the White House counsel came out soon after and said it did not apply to green card holders, but at that point, I think the horse was already out of the barn, and the court cases were already down the road. So it does clear up some confusion. Whether or not they ever intended it to apply to green card holders, I'm not sure, but certainly they said afterwards they did not, and this new executive order should make that clear, leaving the only challenge that at least I see is finding a plaintiff with standing that can challenge it based on some sort of argument that it's invidious discrimination based targeted against Muslims based on their religion, which I've seen some news reports that will be the tack that the lawsuits will take if they can find some plaintiffs to bring the lawsuit.
Byron Henry, our guest, legal expert. So if that goes, Byron, walk me through the road that would go down. What kind of timeline are we talking?
Well, I mean, initially what you'll get is a lawsuit in an attempt to get a temporary restraining order or initial injunction halting the travel rules until a court can rule, such as you did in the last one. And the real question is, are some campaign statements by President Trump before he was president and former Mayor Giuliani's statements that President Trump was trying to keep Muslims out of the country enough to take a facially neutral order that basically targets 7 countries, not based on religion, but based on a designation made by President George Bush's administration as well as President Obama's administration that they were countries that you had to be careful of or had concerns with respect to terrorism? Are those statements made by President Trump on the campaign trail enough to taint the order such that it would make any attempt to restrict immigration from a Muslim country unconstitutional? So, and that's really and it would probably be relatively soon after, which I think we're going into next week now based on the administration's announcement. So I would expect it to be within days of the announcement of the executive order, the actual signing of the executive order, that you would get a lawsuit and the first test in front of a judge as to whether or not there will be an injunction issue.
Well, and given that a lot of legal decisions today, are based on precedent sent yesterday or in days gone by, the fact that the Bush administration, the Obama administration kind of set this up, does that give it a little more chance to hold water?
Well, certainly. Anytime you're looking at countries and not specific individuals or religions, you've got a facially neutral order that basically uses neutral criteria to determine the 7 countries. You have prior administrations saying these are the countries that we have to pay specific attention to, and of course President Trump didn't draw these countries out of a hat. He used the same countries that were designated in prior administrations. The only question is whether or not there's some issue with respect to other prior statements that he made about about trying to limit, radical Muslims from coming into the country. I'm not sure that's enough to invalidate an entire executive order. Basically, that argument would mean President Trump couldn't take any action during his entire presidency. that disproportionately affected Muslims, and I'm not sure that argument's going to fly.
Very good, Byron. Appreciate the time very much. Byron Henry, legal expert on News Radio 610 WTVN. Here's traffic and weather.